Hello and welcome to the Tuscarora Trail. This is a 250-mile path that's going to connect the Appalachian Trail at mile marker 955 all the way over to mile marker 1136. This trail is going to go through the ridge and valley regions of Pennsylvania, Maryland, West Virginia, and Virginia. The Potomac Appalachian Trail Club maintains most of this trail with some other organizations that help along too. In 2015, with a grant from REI, this trail has got some really nice signage. Hundreds of new signs have been added to this trail to guide you along the way. Here we are at the first view I have of the trip. I think this is Cumberland Valley we're looking into right now. And I'm just about 5 miles in on my first day right now. Now to get to the trailhead for this, you have to hike on the AT for, it seemed about 2 miles, which I didn't know it was gonna be that much. I was expecting closer to a 12-mile day. We're gonna have a 15-mile day here on the first day. But luckily, once I hit the Tuscarora Trail, the first 3 miles were smooth sailing, so I really caught up time then. The first destination is gonna be Charlie Irvin Shelter. I'll be doing a lot of shelter camping on this trip, or at least shelter areas. Still might be using my tent, but from what I've read too, most of the shelters I'm going to be coming across are relatively new shelters. I have sketched out roughly an 18-day trip to complete this 250 miles. It's actually going to be 257 because there is going to be a detour, a 7-mile detour. We'll talk about that when we get there. That's a long ways off still. My first leg of this trip is going to be a 7-day carry to Hancock, Maryland. So that's my first goal. It's a little over 100 miles. So I have a route planned out. Shelter about every night, I think, except for one on this first section I'm doing. Now the Potomac Appalachian Trail Club have a great website and some great guidebooks and some great maps we'll get into throughout this journey. I'll share them with you. And possibly I'll have a just separate video on how I plan this whole trip. So the Tuscarora Trail is split into sections. This is section 1 we're going through today. I'm at the point now where I'm coming to the last water source I'm going to have all of tonight and almost 9 miles into tomorrow. So I'm going to go off trail. We're at Longs Gap Register. I'm going to take a detour down Longs Gap Road here, and there's supposed to be a spring. And that's going to be all the water I have for tonight and into tomorrow morning. So I did find the spring down here. It's trickling. I had to use my old Sawyer squeeze bag for a water scoop to fill up my 5 liters I have here. So I have enough water for tonight and tomorrow. So we have about 4 miles left till the shelter area. Oh man, this is heavy. It really just hit me. I decided to I like the Be-Free filter system so much that I decided to go all in on it for my dirty water carry. On this trip, I have a 3-liter capacity. So that with the liter that the Be-Free comes with, I brought that too for a spare. And my liter bottle are all full, 5 liters now. Oh man, this is going to be a heavy 4 miles. So on day 1, right out of the car, hitting the trail, base weight and consumables, I was at 27.5 pounds. Felt pretty good until now. This is a lot of weight. This is probably the most weight I'm going to have on me the entire trip. So the Tuscarora Trail goes through a lot of private land, a lot of state game lands. And right now we're going through a wildlife sanctuary. Now through these areas you can't camp, you cannot build fires, you have to follow the rules. It's private property. So you have to camp in designated areas until you reach some state forest lands where you can kind of camp wherever. That's why today it's going to be about a 15-mile day for me because I can't camp until that shelter area that I'm coming to in about 4 miles, less than 4 miles now. So, and it's been very rocky through this area here. So right now I'm walking through the Audubon Hawk Sanctuary. Now there is a lookout that I chose not to go to because honestly I'm just trying to get off these rocks at this point. I got to deal with these rocks all day tomorrow too. I've had enough of the rocks already today, and we got big views coming on this trail, so I'm anxious to get to camp. It's been a long day traveling. All of that put together, I decided to skip it. I'm about to cross Route 74 up here, and soon after that we're going to reach Wagner's Gap, which is going to be the end of section 1. And soon after, camp. Now they're not calling for rain, but looks like it might rain. We've been getting a lot of rain lately. And it looks like when I started this trip, I got a few days of pretty dry, it looked like. So it's a nice start on this, especially these rocky sections. So there we are crossing 74. And I think we're gonna have a climb up to Wagner's Gap. And soon after that, Charlie Irvin Shelter. Now in 2015, the Potomac Appalachian Trail Club that maintains most of this trail got a grant from REI, and they got all new signage throughout. And here's another one I'm coming across here. They're really nicely made and gives you an idea where you are on the trail. So we got 0.8 miles to Charlie Irvin, and we can look on the other side and we can see how far have we really gone here since we hit Tuscarora Trail. 12.3 miles plus probably 2 miles on the AT to get there. Why all of a sudden I feel like I'm breaking out of prison? Looks like a watchtower of some sort. So that's a radio tower. The trail is going to continue behind it somewhere. Feel like I'm in Metal Gear Solid. And we have arrived. Not a bad day of hiking. This actually looks pretty cool. Oh my. Wow. That was worth the walk. Look at that shelter. Look at this view. I was worried too because there was like 3 guys walking the opposite direction of me, obviously probably coming from here, beer cans in their hand, blasting music. I'm like, oh man, hope there's not a whole party going on up here. But got the whole place to myself so far. It's Sunday night, but tomorrow is Memorial Day, so. Wow, what a beautiful shelter. Good morning. This has got to be the coolest shelter I've ever seen and probably will ever see. Really quiet night. Listened to roosters crowing since 5 a.m. though. Wasn't too bad. I still got to sleep in a little bit. Right now I'm just planning out my route for the day. I do have a basic plan for this whole trip I have here, but yesterday was about 15 miles to this shelter from the AT. Today I only have 12 miles planned to Wagon Wheel Shelter. We're gonna have some big views at the end of this section. So the Potomac Appalachian Trail Club, they have a great website for the Tuscarora Trail. And on their website, they have nice summaries of each section. I went ahead and just printed out the pages on the website, and I cut out a card for each one. That's the one I used yesterday. And I use it as a bookmark for the chapter I'm on. This is the guide to the north half you can get from their website. This has been very helpful. Step-by-step directions. Gives you points of interest, places in town nearby that you're going to be going by. And I print out the cards because it's a summary of each section, and it's a little bit of just quick information rather than here. So, and it's a nice bookmark. And like I was saying earlier, the maps are great too. You have the elevation gain up here, maps with more than enough detail than you need, and most of them are both sided. This one is not both sided, but some of them are both sided. Gives you some real detailed information on different sections you see here. This is a place people would pay to stay at, you know? They should charge you here. So pretty soon here, we're gonna be leaving that wildlife sanctuary. We're just walking along the boundary of it now. And it looks like I get a break from these rocks for a little bit. That's slow moving through there, slow moving. 4 miles since I left camp, and it's been almost 3 hours. I'd say about 2.5 hours. Those rocks slow you down. But we're just crossing over into Sterretts Gap right now. Pretty soon we're gonna be getting into Tuscarora State Forest. One of the worst things that could possibly happened. Hasn't happened to me before, but miles and miles back that way, I left my filter somewhere. Well, last time I filtered water, and a lot of rocks and a lot of miles. I'm not turning around. I have iodine tablets here I'm going to use for my backup. I want to boil water tonight, but I'm not turning around. I just contacted my wife, and she's going to look into sending me a new filter once I get to Hancock, and I'll have one there. Possibly I could buy one there, but I'm going to be going straight to the post office. If I can have a filter there waiting for me, then great. So she's on that right now. I can't believe I did that. The whole water filtration system that I switched over to, I do like, but it just threw me off, I guess. And I think I just set the one bag down with the filter in it and had these 2 other bags, put them on my pack. Next thing you know, I'm walking down the trail with the bag on the ground probably. That was a while ago too. I remember I mixed the orange drink in it, and that was at like 10:30 this morning. That was like 3-4 hours ago, and through all those rocks, man, I'm not letting them make me quit. Nope. That's why I got back up. The water I do have is full of a bunch of debris too, and I wasn't really worried about it because I was filtering it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and not even filter that. In about a mile, we'll be coming into our first stream of the day. Hopefully I can get some cleaner water out of that where I can put my iodine tablets in. Half hour after that or so, I'll have some water to drink. Man, I'm not very happy about that, but you know, that's why you come prepared. And I'm not going back. Nope, I'm not gonna beat my body up going back over those rocks. I got more rocks to go over. That's why I got a support team at home. That's why I got backup plans. We're gonna push on. So the propel's gonna have to wait. Here's another example of the great signage on this trail. We have 3 miles left till we get to the shelter I'm staying at tonight. And 0.2 miles before that is, a stream. Anyway, I forget what it's called. So I'm gonna fill up on water there. Hopefully it's running nice and clear. 2.2 miles from here, we're gonna have a nice big vista. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm still waiting on this water. 35 minutes I gotta wait from when I get water to when I can drink it. Making me thirstier by the minute. I'm not gonna let it stop me again. I'm just kind of laughing at it. You know, it is what it is, man. Here's another intersection for a trail. 2.5 mile loop. I think that'll eventually lead back up to the Tuscarora Trail. Wildcat Run. I think that's the name of the stream I was trying to find back there in my brain. Got a lot of things going on right now. I did send the message home, so the support team is on it. Hopefully I can get a new B3 sent to the Hancock post office, general delivery. I don't think it should be a problem. Probably just gonna have to like 2-day deliver it or something like that. But hey, can't let it stop me. That was an amazing view of the Cumberland Valley there. Flat rock. There's a pretty big group of people there. They're just moving on, and there's still some more people there. So I got some more rocky path until I reach the shelter. Right before the shelter, hopefully Wildcat Run is going to be flowing nice. And as for why I'm starting to see more people now, I saw somebody even before that, a guy and his dog coming up here. I'm right above Colonel Denning State Park. It's Memorial Day weekend, and this is day hike loop trail that I'm on. That was an amazing view though. And as you can see, there's more trash in this area. Well, that's the first piece I've seen, but people, humans, and you can see the yellow blazes I'm following down, along with some of the light blue that designate the Tuscarora Trail. Well, it looks like Wildcat Run is flowing pretty good. I think I'm gonna go ahead and make it to the shelter and come back without the pack, the 0.2 miles to get water, because I still have some water on me. I think I'll choose to do that right now. Welcome to Wagon Wheel Shelter. Big change from my shelter last night, I'll say that much. Nice flat spot over here to lay in. I think I'll probably have a tent night. I apologize for any profanity that I just videoed with all that graffiti in there, but maybe I'll look at it, maybe I won't. So ever since that last trip, when I went out with Bill on the West Rim Trail, that was, a month and a half ago. I had some knee pain after that. Turned out, after going to the doctor, being evaluated by some physical therapist, IT band syndrome. So I've been hitting that hard for 5 weeks now. Twice a day, strength exercises and stretches, and then twice a week at physical therapy with the weight machines and some other things they have me do. And I tell you what, when I started, I couldn't even do 3 miles. I was limping after 3 miles. And they knew I was going for this, and I know it was only 5 weeks, but I did it as hard as I could, and so far so good. This is the closest thing I can find to ice, is this stream water back there from Wildcat. Where am I? Is it Wildcat? From the stream back there. Nice and cold. It feels great on my knee right now. But yeah, it's been holding up fine. I've been stretching like crazy. Maybe I'll go over my stretches. I'm no doctor, but I'll tell you what I do and what I learned. But feeling pretty good, hopping on all those rocks for 2 days. But this feels real good. On this trip, I ordered a new box of different kind of food. Good to go. First time ever trying it. So with this water, I'm gonna have to boil this for a minute straight. So I put a little extra fuel in. I wanna make sure that vigorously boils for 1 minute to kill off anything in there. The water's nice and clean looking, but just to get rid of the bad stuff. At least there's no debris in the water over there. Okay, that's been well over a minute of that, so I think I'm good to go. What's spicy? Very flavorful. A lot of bits in here too to get at. Hey, so dinner was good. I really like that. I can't wait to have the other one. That'll be somewhere down the road. But good news on the water filter. I did get in contact with my wife, and she actually got a hold of one. So she has a Be Free right now. And I was like, great, get it sent to Hancock. I have 4 days to get to Hancock, so I was a little worried about the iodine pills. But I thought I could manage. I can manage. Got a message from her shortly, a little bit ago. She's on her way here. I can't believe it. How lucky am I? Good morning from Wagon Wheel Shelter. So last night, I did get the new filter. It wasn't as easy as we expected. I had to walk the 1.5 miles all the way down to Route 233 on the Tuscarora Trail. And then hike all the way back up last night. But it got done 2 or 3 hours later than I wanted it to, but it is done and I'm very grateful. It was worth it. It was worth it. So today we're hiking through section 3 and some of section 4. My pack feels pretty light today, actually. And that's good. 2 days of food off my back. And the miles are about to pick up now. It's not so much about the miles today. We have 15 miles planned. But today's a big elevation gain day. I hope a lot of the rocks are behind me. But the rain's coming in about 2 p.m. predicted. Now I just hiked this last night, like I said. Here's another one of these new REI signs. I shouldn't call them REI signs, it's Tuscarora Trail signs, you know, from the REI grant. So we have 1.5 miles down to Route 233. And then, like I said, I did that last night, down and back. So it was an extra 3 miles yesterday on top of my 12. I think I said earlier, if not, I'd let myself sleep in a couple extra hours today just because I didn't get to bed so late. So I feel good about that though. We're leaving at 9 a.m. I have 15 miles planned. I have hopefully 4 hours before any rain hits. And we got a big downhill coming. What a fun, crazy surprise that was though. Like I said, I'm so very grateful that I have a new filter now. Didn't have to wait 4 more days to get one. And really, the iodine pills worked, but I have to use 2 of them every time for 1 liter of water. And I was a little worried. Well, I'll say I was worried that I might run out of them. You know, it's part of the adventure now. It's part of the story. And I'm not stressing about the miles today. We're on the Tuscarora Trail, big adventure. Let's have some fun. In 4 miles, I know we're gonna get to some water when we run into Bill Miller Trail. Our stop tonight is Fowlers Hollow Shelter, 14.1 miles from this sign, and 221 miles left total. Boy, it is humid out. You can just tell it wants to rain. This is like walking through soup. Already, not even 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay, just a short walk up that road. I think we're just turning up Elk Hill Road here. There's the blue blaze. I think this is my all-time favorite colored blaze on any trail I've ever done. Let me see if I can not mess up the history of this trail. So in the 1960s, there was concern that part of the Appalachian Trail might possibly lose ownership or allow use through the private areas there. So the people that run the AT set out to try to find an alternate route to get around that if it did happen. Now up north here, this northern section we're doing, was a group of people from York, PA. They mapped out this northern section we're doing here. Down south, now I think these might have been about the same time period, not exactly the same time period. A guy was mapping out the Big Blue Trail from the Appalachian Trail to Hancock, Maryland. As things progressed and things were voted on, they decided to name the entire route the Tuscarora Trail. But as a nod to the Big Blue Trail, all the blazes are blue. And some of these I walk by, you can actually see they used to be orange, I think. And when they made that vote and they came through, they repainted all the blazes blue up here in the northern section. Gap elevation. You see, these here are regular Pennsylvania rocks. What I had the last 2 days were outrageous Pennsylvania rocks. This I can move on quicker. Still gotta watch, I'm still gonna trip, but it's not gonna be a snail's pace. 0.3 miles to my next water source and my first break. So I'm way off trail trying to find water, and this is the only water I can come across up here. I had to drop my pack at the top there. I'm hoping this is going to be okay. It's disgusting looking. Oh, so we're back. I scraped as much leaves and stuff as I could out of there and let it settle with as much patience as I could, as I had on me. So that's my result. It's cold. It's cold and it's wet, ain't it? Water actually came out really clear when I filtered it through that. Added an orange drink to it. Delicious and cold. Having a nice little break here. I have about 5.5 miles to my next water source, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish this, fill this up, maybe another liter, we'll see. The end of section 3 is about 4 miles away. Ended up being a pretty relaxing break there, actually. Always get a little frustrated when I have to like go off trail to get water. Even though I kind of knew that was the plan, I'm like, oh, this is really steep. It's not that bad. Still good to sit down for a bit, re-energized. Decided just to take a liter of water with me for this next 5.5 miles. I think I'll be just fine. From what I remember, I think we're going to be crossing Laurel Run. Possibly take another break there. Okay, here is Cowpens Road and the end of section 3. Section 4, here we come. Taking a break here at Laurel Run. It's a beautiful stream, and there is a nice campsite right next to it here. I actually drew out a plan, one of my plans for this. I had a few plans for this trip. One of the plans was me staying at this camp here. I had some meat and I had a power bar, and I mixed up this liquid IV I got into mixing with my element drinks. Firecracker flavored, and yes, it smells so good, and it tastes just like those popsicles. And in this cold stream water, oh man, it's really good. From here, I have 4.5 miles to the shelter, and I plan on leaving here right at 5 o'clock. So I think I should be able to get there. I have an 8 o'clock target I'm going for. I'll be happy with that. Like I said, I left late this morning on purpose. No rush, we'll get there. way. All right. Hello, so I'm tucked into the shelter here, waiting for dinner to get ready. I did a ton of stretching, and the rain has not stopped, has not let up since. It's just been getting steadier and steadier. I'm trying to get a beat on the forecast. Reception is a no-go here, and the satellite messenger is just in and out, so it's just a waiting game at this point. But I'm here early enough. It's 8:45 right now. I have a big day planned tomorrow, the biggest day of this leg of the trip, and this rain has got me worried. The shelter seems comfortable enough. The hay floor is kind of funny. This is my manger. It's very comfortable. I'm just walking around in my bare feet in there. Yes, I'm studying up on the maps for tomorrow. I'm looking at the guidebook. I think it's going to be some long water carries too. So I got to get on that. I got to eat, and I got to try to get as much sleep as I can and get up early. Well, see you tomorrow.